Good morning. What's going on? Thank you guys for joining me. All right, let me get this music and say hello to the ones I haven't spoke to. Church Mouse, uh, V. Lachey, Auntie Donna. Hey, Auntie Donna. So Brown, Carolina Blue, Marvelous Me, TT Speaks, Strictly Platinum, Heavy Bear. I really appreciate you guys for being here. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. I think I got everybody. Just my thoughts. William Carruthers, what have you been up to? I see you have not been hitting any panels lately, William Carruthers. You've been laying low. Hopefully, you ain't been like Treecey, laying it low and spreading it wide. So let's just hope you just been laying it low. All right. That brown sugar, thank you for being here. Did I say Lena Pretty Brown Eyes? And Cola Peace. Thank you guys. Okay. I think you guys can hear me. I see my thing vibrating. So I'm sure you can hear me. But if you can, you can put a one in the chat if you like to. Please hit the thumbs up on your way in. I greatly appreciate it. Hello, Liz Livos. Angela Cook, hello, thank you for being here. So, Don Cato, hello, Don Cato. Salute panel chats. I like to hear this. What would you like to hear in particular, Don Cato? You may not like to hear it, but I'm here to give it to you. Hey, NYW, how you doing? Good to see you. Let me see what William Carruthers is saying. Oh, he laughing. Okay. Yeah, you ought to laugh. I'm just joking with you, William. So I was out and about early this morning after letting the dogs out, and I was like, let me go and get it out of the way. Auntie Donna, you understand what I'm saying. Sometimes we get up early. I said, let me get this out of the way. And I happened upon Deanna Irving's page sometimes. What you looking at, so Bob? Okay, I happened upon Deanna Irvin's page. Hey, Bush baby, and she had Noble on the page, and Noble was on the page, and he was, all upset about, which rightfully so, about his medical information being released by the dastardly Doctor Doolittle, uh, the dastardly Dr. Doolittle. And so it made me go over and look at a few things. So I was then able to find that this community post was put up by none other than the person who loves to put information that should not be on YouTube on her community page. Look at Noble. Remember when you were crying in the hospital because you didn't want to die? Here's all your ailments as well. Leave me alone. Okay. So, um, then there was a list of his medical information. So I learned over at Deanna's Irving prior to seeing that Noble Noble was the one who sent the fool her information. I had to question Noble. I had to ask Noble a question like, okay, well, you knew she had put other people's deceased children on her wall, but why is it I understand why it's a problem, but if it wasn't a problem for you seeing that she had put people's deceased children on the wall, what made you think she treats you with any type of different sensitivity about your own children? Well, I didn't think she would do that, and I know she had done it, but yeah, okay, you knew she had done it, and you were silent about it. That was my whole point. He already knew what type of person she was, and not only did she put someone's child up there, she put someone's deceased child up there. Not and that wasn't even bad enough for her. She then had to superimpose a noose and maggots around said deceased child. So now he is all up in arms and oh, the whole army of God should rush down when you knew exactly who you were dealing with prior to that. Well, I thought I was hoping she would change, and I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. Well, what benefit of the doubt could you give that person who never removed the said pictures of the deceased child? So what benefit does that person get? What type of benefit of the doubt are we talking about here? So I want you to understand, I'm not justifying any of it because all of it is despicable. And I I kind of see people getting lulled into, it's kind of like that argument that you see if any of you, and I know all of you, the biggest news you get is from media takeout, but I think that if any of you watch any type of political news where they have different can different parties who are arguing something, and they will argue a point that someone has strongly overstepped the line, and then the person who has strongly overstepped the line will say, well, both sides do it. Well, both sides do it. So I just want to know if the people, the subscribers who are watching this, are you guys falling into this lull that makes these content creators comfortable that both sides do it? Well, they did something wrong to me. Well, this person did wrong to me. Clearly, he was aware of her evil taxes. I agree. Yes, indeed. Good morning to you, Yatanya Jones. Okay, so nope, two wrongs don't make a right. I definitely agree. Lena, WTF? Yes, TF girl. Hey, Lady Steele, how you doing? Thank you for being here. I don't think Noble minds this at all. You don't think he minds his child being put on there? You think he is all for show? Is Lady Steele? Are you saying, is that what you're saying? That he is like taking the opportunity to, get upset and draw a crowd to him, bitching and crying and moaning instead of being on YouTube, doing what the YouTube guideline tells him to do when he's upset about that type of stuff being put out on him. I found that awful strange. So then we go, he's talking a little further. He's giving details about, well, yeah, she's on different types of medication and she was on all these types of psych meds. And, well, what type were they? Oh, well, I don't have them. I just, looked at them, and you know, you came out and announced them on YouTube. That's what you did, Noble. You came out and announced them on YouTube. And so we're not gonna act like that didn't happen. And then also what happened is uh Deanna asks, well, give me the names of the medication. Was she taking the medications? Were they empty? Because, we can all agree that it seems like she needs to be medicated. So if, in fact, she really had all these psych medications, I I wonder if she was taking them. But see, Noble bought this on the street because he checks people medicine cabinets. Now, I will admit that I have heard of people checking people's medicine cabinets. It's not the first time I've heard about it. Some of you may go into people's medicine cabinets and check medicine cabinets, but I'd be leery of people who just go in people's medicine cabinets and check it. Hey, Miss Queenie, so are they looking to be nosy or are they looking to steal my medication? So, there's two sides to that coin. See, it's not always just curiosity when somebody is groping through your medicine cabinet. But I digress. That's not my point. Hey, Lady T, thank you. Yes, I'm up early, girl. Um, Good morning, Colette Lucas. How you doing? Okay, so what do you guys think about this trolling through the medicine cabinet? Tree Dog admitted to being treated for a mental illness, treated by her. Okay. And he is a day late and a dollar short. I never knew that she had admitted that. Thank you for the information. I do know that it was disclosed that when they were looking for her in the jail, they couldn't find her, and then they finally realized that nosy and perhaps to steal. Yeah, there's two sides to that coin, and they found her in the slow bus section of the jail. So it after her jail stay, there was no misunderstanding that she was not totally there. You couldn't deny it. It was on paperwork. Okay. I put marbles in my cabinets when I have company, although I don't keep medicine in my medicine cabinets. Oh, so you can hear the marbles just fall all over the floor, and then they just like straight out busted. I've seen that on a TV show or something. I know I've seen that. Total deal breakers. Stay out of my medicine cabinet. Hey, good and evil. Thank you for being here. Okay. Yep. So now here's what I want to talk about. Here's what I really want to talk about. Okay, so we're pretty sure that all of this type of stuff should not be on the YouTube streets. Okay, we're pretty sure the people involved are the people who are spreading each other's tea. So, at what point does we as content creators or subscribers who are viewing this, at what point do we keep our hands off of it and look like we're watching a tiger show? And if we get too close to the cage, we'll be get bitten. So we don't dare put our hands on this stuff. Or at what point do we go live and merely read out what this man's medical information was? At what point do we stop, take enough time out to quit playing the victim and quit saying that our child was ex trafficked because someone sent a picture of our child out, a picture that we gave them, as a matter of fact. So if they were ex trafficked, then I, as the parent, would be the one who had to initially send out the inappropriate picture. But I digress. So, at what point do we not hop on someone's panel and jovially read out the context of someone's medical information? At what point do we do that? Or at what point do we start to do that? Okay, I'm listening. Okay, who is in the chat? Okay. I keep all my hair and makeup and perfume in there, so no guys want anything in there. Okay. Either way, a man shouldn't speak on a woman's sex life when he slept with her. It's almost a moot point. It's at this point, it's like kind of, yeah, it's a moot point. You're right. No man should speak on a woman's sex life, and vice versa. And first we hear about all this pound town, and then we hear about all this erectile dysfunction. So they're making lies of convenience. You don't know what's true, you don't know what's false, and the fact of the matter is we shouldn't know any of these things. We shouldn't know any of these things. So are people on the fringes now going to come out and start discussing? Now Noble admitted that he did send her his medical records. So Deanna said, "What? You actually sent her?" If you guys have not seen Deanna Irving's live from early this morning, I am going to drop the link in here for you so you can hear it yourself. You do not have to take my word for it. So I'm gonna let me drop the live in here for you guys right now. Okay, so you don't so he actually sent the medical records to her. So there's that. So she puts them up for everybody on YouTube to view. And that's what's happening. So here's Deanna's Irving link for that live where Noble made an appearance. Now, I want to know from you guys, At this point that this information is out, what type of participation in disseminating this information do you feel that the people on YouTube will or should have? Just let me know. They should do this or they will do that. I don't care. I'm not judging. I'm just asking for different people's opinion based upon the type of people we know that we're dealing with here on YouTube. And the jovial spirit of a professional victim who alleges that they were a social worker to go up and jovially read out someone's medical records down to their lab results and their what do you call it when they give you a referral, medical referrals, was totally disgusting to me. Was totally disgusting to me. So what do you guys think about this? Okay. Hey Heatwave, how you doing? Hey Body Works. Okay. I'll drop the link. Maybe you guys are more chatty than you are typey. Maybe your fingertips are dead. So if you want to hit the link, you're more than welcome to hit the link. Um, so let me see. I don't see any response. What's the point he's trying to prove with his medical records? Uh, I don't know exactly. We didn't ask that precise questions. I remember when she had went to California with Rob Rack. They had definitely said that they had taken the HIV test. So we're talking about the dissemination of medical records, not only by the participants who were in the relationship, but people who are reading these medical records out on their panel with joy and glee. Miss Diva, you're welcome to hit the link. Good morning, sunshine. So I remember Treecey and Rob Rack were discussing medical records because he finally blurted out that she never gave him his her STD paperwork to show that she was cleared of any diseases. Now it seems like Treecey has moved on to the next dude, and so do you think that he is more upset about the trainer dude or any of this information that's coming out? Because he could be very upset about his sons being talked about by her. So he's saying that that's why he took off on her and gave all the gory details about her body parts and what she could and could not do with her body. Or it could simply be the fact that, like most men, he's jealous of her going on to the next dude without letting any type of embers or flames die down in her hot pocket. So, what do you think it is? Good morning, V. Lenore. How are you? Okay. So, let me see. Okay. I think he was feeding her info like medical records because he knows it's almost guaranteed future content relevance for Mad Day. I think that's what you mean. So that's a good point. That is a good point because we know. Hey, Room Shaker, how you doing? Good to see you. We know that he is living off of this. We know that. Uh, you know, I'm I'm of the thought that he's okay with the casualties. I wish I would be sitting up here. Well, I'm not worried because I called my job and I called this person and I called that person and we ready to go and we know what to do. No, I don't want to have a preset escape plan. If I have to have a preset escape plan, I don't need to be messing with you. If this is the things that I have to worry about on the front end, no, I do not need to be messing with you because no, I think I kind of agree with you on that. So what else do you guys think? I thought he sent them to prove his rib injury. You know what? Come to think of it, he did say that. He said that's when I was going through that thing with my ribs. I think that was because of the cruise thing. You're right. There you go. Thank you for reminding me about that. He did mention that, I think, on Deanna's. Okay. He's posting pics of his kids and medical records and then deleting it. Oh, okay. I didn't know that, but thank you for giving me that information. Okay. So, okay, let me see. Hey, for good Neva.
Hey, Ronnie Q. So I'm just trying to catch up what's going on. I've been out of the loop about these medical records. So what's fill me in? Do I need to get caught up? You said something about going to Deanna's page. Should I have
Uh-huh.
gone there
I
first?
No, what happened was Treecey dropped this post and it said, "Look at Noble. Remember when you were crying in the hospital because you didn't want to die? Here's all your ailments as well. Leave me alone." And then she underneath this is a list of all his medical diagnoses from a medical facility, including follow-up appointments that they want him to have and treatments that they want him to have and lab work that they want him to have. So all of this he sent to her. And
Oh,
as Church Mouse reminded me, it was about, remember when he broke his ribs, oh, on the trip, and he
oh
implied at
yeah.
Deanna's that the sickle cell, he lied about the sickle cell, but allegedly I heard read off something to the effect of something about sickle cell. Now I haven't, the only thing that I saw that's under this picture details bunions and treatments for bunions and referral for his bunions. But I heard real detailed information read off at other channels about some, real different types of ailments that are bothering him. So I was wondering, okay, albeit they are putting this information out on each other, how is it that people are okay with other people taking these things and reading them out on their platforms as if it's okay, and saying, "Oh, well, they don't work for a medical facility. I don't work for a healthcare company, so I'm not breaking any HIPAA laws."
My HIPAA laws. Oh yeah, but how did they get access to it? Did he give it to? How did they get
He
access to
sent it
his?
to Treecey.
And she sent and she.
He sent and she posted it on her community wall,
Oh, okay.
that she of the wall of the channel that she just got monetized. And so I'm just curious. I expect them to be idiots with each other, but to the point that it's being displayed on other channels by people who always want to cry victim about what
Mm-hmm.
somebody's doing to
Mm-hmm.
them, but up there reading it with a smile and a grin. And well, I'm not a healthcare professional, so I'm not no, see, at what a point do adults start being adults, and what point do people think that, Treecey is
Well,
diabolical.
they
So
say they don't think certain things don't apply to them, or it's okay if they do
mhm,
it, or whatever. Just like you
you
said,
can't
those
tell people
professional
how to fight.
victims.
You can't tell people how to fight.
That's what they say.
But they send a picture of their daughter to someone
Hmm.
for a sorority thing, and when that person send a picture of that daughter out, they're trafficking my
That's it.
child.
Hmm.
But how
Yeah,
can
they
you
just
your child be?
post us moves.
Yeah. So yeah, this is kind of what I'm talking about, because it's a lot. It is a lot. Hey Sheila, how you doing? Hey Madison W. So now
The po-
Noble also is not innocent, because Noble started talking about Treecey's body parts, and he said it was because Treecey was talking about his kids, but come to find out that Treecey also was doxing church ladies' kids, and they I don't know if this to be true because I don't visit Treecey's page, but they said that Treecey also was doxing church ladies' children, and he mixed it up and thought she was doxing his children, and then he went on a verbal assault of her body parts, talking all stuff about her body. So, what do you think about this?
I mean, as far as, well, I don't know what him. Well, I guess that was fair game. Well, don't I got a soft spot for Tracy. I know the shit she do is be fucked up, but I got a soft spot for her. But I think that he sincere.
Girl, bye.
What's the problem? What's the problem
I
with
knocked.
her?
Wait a minute. Hold on. I knocked you off when you said you had a soft spot for her. But go ahead.
My Tracy, but I'm just saying, he body shamed her, so I mean, quite naturally, she's gonna, go low like that and display his stuff, his his medical, his records or whatever. Of course, she's gonna do that. I mean, I wouldn't expect her not to do it.
Right.
She's
So
known.
now that
That's what she does. That she wouldn't be Tracy if she didn't.
and he was warned that she is that type of person. And then he was on Deanna's panel, and I also had to go up there, and he was like, well, like kind of acting like he didn't expect it, and I had to tell him, how can you expect her not to do it when you were dealing with her, you knew that she had a deceased child on her wall, and it wasn't enough that she had the child on the wall, she also had a superimposed noose around the child's neck and maggots around the child. And you knew this and you were well aware of this. Well, I didn't think she would do it to me.
See, they all do that. It's not a problem until it's done to them. See, they don't have a
Hmm.
problem until it's done to them. But as far as Noble can just kick rocks. I mean, I have no sympathy for him. I mean, he know what it was. I mean, he know
Hmm.
exactly what he was getting into with that, with him, Treecey, that situation. I think that's just fair game when it comes to that. I mean, I'm not saying her doxing church ladies' kids, but I'm just talking about her exchange between her and Noble.
Him.
That I can care less. I couldn't care any less about that. I mean, that's fair exchange. What, even exchange ain't robbery?
Fair
That's the way I
exchange
see that.
is right there. It's right there on the screen. Fair exchange is no robbery. Now, so we clear on that. We agree on that. But see, my point is now when we bring it further out, just because it's on the community wall, does it give somebody the right to come out here and then detail and lay out and read all of his, he is advised to, he has this, that, and the other wrong with him. He's advised to follow up with this person. He needs to go get this blood work done. At what point do we as content creators don't fall into that? Well, you're not a what do you expect of other people, other adults on YouTube to do with this type of information is my question.
Well, this is the B sector, so I would expect, you know, I wouldn't expect any high ground. I mean, it's the B sector, ain't
Uh,
that what they do?
Now, well, no, that's what some of them do. That's what some of them do. So I was just kind of like, I was kind of taken aback at that. Like somebody would, who is supposed, people who are supposedly educated people would come out and do that type of thing. And I understand that, this is the beef sector and all that type of stuff. That doesn't negate doing wrong by by
Yeah.
somebody like that. Now
I
people
mean,
all
would I
people
do
are.
it personally? Would
Mhm.
I do it? No, I wouldn't. I don't think you would either. I mean, personally, would I? No, but this is a whole different. These are whole different type of people.
Mhm.
They do stuff.
Mhm.
They fake pregnancies and stuff like that, and
Mm.
they try to put lint babies on dudes and stuff. So it's this sector. I mean, it's just so much. This is really nothing compared to what has been done. But I mean, I guess what I'm saying is I don't have any expectations, no high expectations for what anybody will do, and I'm never really surprised. But these aren't our normal people. Would we do it? Would I do it? No, I wouldn't.
Hmm.
But we've seen worse.
Yeah, and
We've
the bottom line is that it's going to be all fun and games, and it's going to be all good and all laughable, but the people or the persons who are reading this medical information out about someone else and reveling in the fact, well, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not breaking any HIPAA laws. Well, what happens if their medical information gets out and somebody from the ops start reading their personal medical information? See, I ain't got a dog in the fight with Noble and Treecey because, like y'all say, fair exchange is no robbery. But to the
right.
point where other people are out here disseminating his private medical information, I think that that's you know, really, really crossing the line for people who are not involved in this and who are purely spectators. They could have peeped it and went on about their business. So
But yeah. But once the shoe is turned and it's done, their information is read. It's gonna
mhm,
be a whole nother ball game by then. By then, they're gonna want to press charges and doxing and and get the police involved. They're gonna want to take it there.
mhm,
They never keep that same energy until it's them, until it happens to
exactly.
them.
Yeah, so that was my whole reason for bringing this live, and like Noble hands are not clean whatsoever. He tried to feign like, oh well, I thought she would be changed, and I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I was like, where's the benefit of the doubt? She still had these pictures up all while you were with her. You didn't do anything strongly to suggest that she take these things down. So you knew who she was. You were warned about her. So, but you still went in there. Well, I may be like, give me a break. You're too old.
And he
You're
brought that,
you're.
and he brought that shit on himself.
Hmm.
He brought that shit on himself. What makes he think that him going to another platform, body shaming her? I mean, what did he expect to happen? Talking he didn't he go whose platform he went on? He went on somebody's platform talking about her hygiene and lack of bathing. I mean, what do you expect? What did he expect? A lot
Well,
of that he brought on himself. I'm not saying it's right
uh
that
huh.
his health record or whatever should be read out or should be supplied to everybody, but I mean, look who he's dealing with, and what did he expect?
But he says that he was really surprised that she came to visit him in Detroit because he didn't think that she would come see him that soon, and he wasn't expecting to see her until the cruise. But you received her. You did receive her. But so if you didn't want it to her to be there, you should have said, hey, well, why don't we just wait to the cruise, or something like that. So all along the way, he acts as if she was in control and he's some hapless, innocent type of person and all that. But he didn't mind getting on the camera, going live, and hey, it was I don't know what is wrong with these dudes who want some type of YouTube recognition and bad enough to go and do
Hmm.
things that they say they normally wouldn't have done, like Treecey is Beyonce or something, and they couldn't resist themselves. Your girl Beyonce.
All right, now that's the all right now don't all right don't let me sit and hide. Come on now, that's a stretch.
Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted your perspective, and that's a good perspective of it. So yeah, I just wanted to, it's a bunch of BS, and let's not forget that Noble has not been a real meek person in his life. Noble has a history of being, he wants to. Okay, allegedly, he has a history of being quite physical. So,
Yeah, abuse, like he's abusive to what, children and women. Yeah.
exactly. So, Noble, we're not looking at you as some little innocent little butterfly, Noble. See, everything that comes with her, we see everything that has come with
I
you.
see it as
So, you
karma.
guys, hmm I
I see
exactly.
she's his karma. That's his karma.
uh So, thank you. Is anything else you want to add?
Well, yeah. Okay, I want to get clear on this. Now, we are talking about TMO, right? With her kid about the
Of
sex
course.
traffic. Well, what is that? What? And so that needs to be addressed. Why she needs to be? Who is her people? What? Of course. What is it? Nina Dolzell, whatever. They not going to hold her
hmm
accountable, but she needs to be held accountable for that shit because I mean, who really uses their child? I mean, Fish does that with Leah. Remember, she used to use that child like a bulletproof vest, and now you find her doing that, using her child for her beefs. To hide behind her beefs or whatever. And what's with that? And who would do that?
Most definitely.
If you care so much about your precious daughter, your child, you would keep your child out of that.
Right.
I
And
mean,
then
that's ridiculous. What
the
the?
simple fact that we're playing with some very serious terms, that we're supposed to take trafficking children so lightly as to allow her to continue to say the picture that she herself sent. So if it's trafficking, it would have started with her herself. So we are supposed to like so lightly let her say, well, I sent her a picture for her sorority thing, and then she sent it out to other people and said that my daughter looked like me, which means my daughter's ugly. And therefore she's trafficking my child. And any person that she sees who's a moderator or anything, and you guys are in on it and trafficking my child. See, sending the trafficking is not meant to say that you shared a picture and had something unkind to say about a child. That is not the meaning of the word traffic. And so, for these people who are so inept in colorism and how colorism affects somebody, why are they taking child trafficking so lightly? To let her continue to come out here and make these ridiculous allegations? That's a good question. She dropped down. I thought you were still up here. But yeah, that is a good question. So thank you for good and evil. You fell off, but hey, you need to go. How are you? Love Blake, Mika Babe, how are you? Coco, how are you doing? Okay, I think she's back. Device is not connected. For good and evil, your device is not connected. I can't bring you up because it won't allow me. Okay, we're gonna wait on for good and evil to get her device connected. Okay, so okay, I missed too much, I guess. Okay, trafficking is pimping a child and moving around. It's not only pimping a child, it's using a child to do forced labor. It's moving a child to either, like, you can traffic by having the child beg for money or being one of these missionaries to go around and preach the gospel and all this type of stuff for money, but they are definitely moving the children around. That is the whole point. That is the whole thing. They can be used for that thing that you said. They can be used to work in brothels and strip clubs and all of this. So to equate sending a picture and saying some unkind things about your child's look does not fall into trafficking. So to continue this and all of these people just sit up here and let her spew this ignorance and belittling the plight and the realness of what trafficking is. I don't even I guess I shouldn't expect more from people, but hey, I'm going to stop having any expectations of people other than to sit around and talk about how messy they are and sit up and talk about a whole lot of dumb bullshit. So there's that. So for good and evil, I don't know what happened with your device. I don't know what happened. I'll just drop down in the chat while I get breakfast started. Girl, yes, go ahead and get breakfast started. So yeah, that is the extent of what I had about that conversation. But like Noble, you're I do not agree with your information being put out, but you were warned prior to this. Noble was duly warned about Treecey, and Noble knew who Treecey was, and he was okay with it as long as it got him what he wanted. So don't get me wrong in any way, shape, or form, but I'm just trying to say, uh, are we falling into a slippery slope? Trying to do too much out here on these YouTube streets? Just like for example, just like Treecey, just because Treecey received those oods of did not mean that she needed to post them uh on her community wall. See, everybody's making, some people are making, not everybody, some people are like making excuses, and then other people was like, no, you were dumb to post them. So just because Treecey put this information on her community wall about his personal medical records does not mean that we need to come out here and talk about what we saw that she posted in detail. Okay? That's my whole point. Okay. I wanted to comment I wanted to commend her on her interview with Nesto's side hens ponytail. Oh my God. That lady is a mess. That Nesto's girlfriend from the Shirley Strawberry Letters. If you guys haven't been over there, I don't know if everybody know that V. Lenore interviewed the side chick from that Shirley Strawberry thing. And oh my God, it was so hard to get through that interview with this chick, and she thought that everything was cute, fun, and it none of it was. Let me see if I can find it. I am looking for it. Oh, here it is. I'm going to drop that in a link for you too, because V. Lenore did a good interview with her. And then since then, I've watched a latest clip from her and him on these phone conversation where she's acting all, young. Yeah, she does look good for her age. The lady looks damn good for her age, but she's acting all young and uh scattered brained and everything. And you really get an insight into who he's dealing with. So here's the link to the interview that V. Lenore did with Nesto's girlfriend, a side piece or whatever. And it is just kind of disturbing when you watch these clips of him interacting with her on these phone conversations. So there's that. Let me see. Noble is crying and lying like a hoe. Yeah, he's probably doing that right about now. So, yeah, congratulations, V. Lenore. It was a good interview. Hey, M. Bernadette. Yeah, I posted the link, so I hope you guys grab the link. I always try to post the links of the people who I'm talking about. Hey, she's Lex. I saw you in here. earlier, Dominique Devereaux. Hello, Dominique Devereaux. Let me see what you're talking about. Phone calls from prisons will keep you in the loop. Yes, that was, I listened to one of the most recent phone calls after Shirley said that she's not going to have anything else to do with him. And so he was like leaning heavily on her. And, I got to get a lawyer. I ain't got nothing. I got to get a lawyer. Well, you messed up your chance, the woman who was paying for a lawyer sleeping on a pallet, and then you just sat around and messed that up from jail. You can see the arrogance in him still in jail. Yeah, I got to get all this cut off, and rubbing his beard and all that. And I was like, that's the least of your concerns. Why you acting like, oh, I gotta I gotta get fly to go in front of the DA who who trying to nail you. And then they did a little talking in code about, well, what are, you kind of sense that they were talking about, well, what are you going to do about these allegations, about these heavier allegations, these allegations with the co-conspirator that she's out on bail for. Since they let her out on bail, you maybe be able to get out on bail, but it's still the things with the children and the animals in play. So what about those? He's in a hot tank of oil, as far as I can. He did his. What did he do to his friend Dre? And I was wondering about that. Dre, I believe, from what I could tell from the phone calls, was a truck driver. And then when he, in this conversation that I had, and I was kind of like, it sounds like he's not talking to Dre anymore. And he kind of had like, well, I can't deal with people, doing all types of stuff. And I was like, well, wait a minute. He sounds like he giving Dre the gas face when Dre was the one who would be able to get in contact with Shirley and get Shirley on the phone for his sorry ass when she wouldn't answer the phone for him. So Dominique, what did he do with Dre? Let me see. V. Lenore got something to say. Okay. She paid 40K for a lawyer, but they blew it. They are on their third group of lawyers. My goodness. Did they blow it, or did Deanna? No, V. Lenore interviewed the side chick. Here's the link right here. Not Deanna, V. Lenore. Uh so did they blow it, or was it like the case so tight that it's just going to go to trial? I know the case hasn't gone to trial yet, but Dominique Devereaux, I want to know what he did to his homeboy, because that was pathetic. I mean, Treecey said she struck his. Wait a minute. Tracy said she stuck her fingers in his ass and they slid right in, and he was all bent over. Oh my God. Now, why do I need to know all of this? Tell me. Dre heard him and heard talking about him, and told his personal business too. Okay, thank you. Thank you. And at this point in the juncture, you need all the friends that you can get. Thank you, Love Blake. I appreciate that. Good morning, Very Carey. Okay. He was talking mess about Dre to Sonya, and the phone call was released, and Dre heard it. All that stuff Dre was doing to him. He trying to get his loads off the truck. He trying to park his rig and all this type of stuff while he on the phone. Hey man, you call this? You talk to Shirley? I don't know what's going on, man. She tripping. I ain't worried about, well, I told her to go pick up the truck. He worried about material possessions and things like that. And I told her to go pick up the truck. Man, I don't know. Okay, he was mad Dre wouldn't put his house up to get him out on bail. He also allowed Sonya to dog Dre out on a call. Well, how come Sonya ain't putting her house up since she got so much room to be putting her mouth on Dre? Child, I do not blame Dre. Now he's really. I'm gonna have to go see if it's any more phone calls uploaded, because I found that other one maybe 5 to 7 days after V. Lenore did her interview. So I'm gonna have to see if there. I haven't been keeping up with them tightly, but I'm gonna have to see if there's some any more fun. Ooh, girl, you looking good. I like that. Ooh, I like how you got that hair slicked up. I don't like it hanging down. I said, oh, so you like her with a ponytail, looking more childlike? Is that it? I don't like it when it's all hanging down. Ooh, let me see what you got on. I was like, this clown right here. You gonna be seeing what she got on, looking through a glass of many a years. If that's the most you got to talk about when your freedom is on the line, you sitting up arguing about some chick. You better be like coming in like you was coming at Shirley. Well, you talk to the lawyer, what they say. But you ain't got none of that to say because you still trying to smooth the broke bitch. I'm not saying she broke, but she broke compared. She ain't putting no money on no attorney for you. You still trying to smooth her and tell her how good she look. Oh, typical. Ooh, oh, oh, he makes me sick. He sounds so. Oh, girl. He talks like this when he on the phone, guys. Ooh, girl, you looking good. Hey, kind of me, Nesto is disgusting. Yes, because he talks like that, and he's just ugh. Yes. Okay. I'm working on getting another interview connected with this Nesto story. It would be juicy if I can make it happen. Make it happen. Oh, oh. If you believe in self, I don't know the words to that Mariah Carey song. If you believe in whatever, you know what I'm saying. Make it happen, V. Lenore. Hey, Ebony Diamond, I would definitely love to see a follow up or another interviewee to that story. Yeah, laugh. That is funny. Paulette came on the panel, blew up the spot, and then ran off and started that live you saw briefly. Wait a minute. Paulette started up a live. I know Paulette probably started up some mess. I ain't been over there in a while over on Mahias. Now, what did Paulette do? Have y'all been watching the lady from TikTok? Oh my goodness. Yes, I have been watching that lady from TikTok on Just Sarah. Let me drop her link. She did a 20-part series about her getting together with this dude. Who did I say? Just Sarah. She, about her getting together with this dude who they had met, and like a month or a month and a half later, they decided they were going to get married, and then they were going to buy a house, and about 12 to 15 houses fell through, and he had verified income, verified money from the bank. I'm not going to tell you the whole story. It's a 20-part series on TikTok, and just Sarah has been playing them back to back with very few interruptions. Or you can, because I don't know exactly what her page is on TikTok. So here's just Sarah link, and you can go check it out. It is like riveting at some points, and then at some points it was like, bitch, we on chapter 13 and you still the same fool you was in chapter 1. Goddamn. You didn't learn nothing. Oh, he was something else. Oh, and another thing. Speaking of con artists, did you guys hear that Portia husband Simon is allegedly going to be deported back to Africa. Portia from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now they had just made some big announcements, some big news that she is going to be back on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She was instrumental in the reason why Candy Burris got fired because it was a decision made that Phaedra will also be coming back because they like the way that Phaedra and Portia get along together. It is alleged that Portia has the highest paid contract in Housewives history, and additionally, she got something that is unheard of, that she can also work for other networks while still being under contract with Bravo. And then what was this? it's been 2 or 3 days later, we find out that Simon allegedly, her husband, has allegedly been financing. They said that he was worth between $400 and $500 million, and then in the United States, they said he was worth either 50, 40, or $50 million. But come to find out, when you ask for all any verification or where he works, he says that his family owns an oil company, and this is kind of like Wikipedia, where you can add anything to Wikipedia that you want to. It was like these type of documents that he was bringing forth, and they said that this office that he says that his oil company is in is kind of like that office that Trish puts up for that YouTube Streets Awards, kind of like those Delaware offices where you can get a mailbox and a PO box and act as if you have an office there, kind of like that Shish Trish thing where she has this office that is allegedly in one of Donald Trump's office buildings, and it has just copy and paste pictures of empty boardrooms and this, that, and the other, and it's nothing more than a glorified mailbox that she is saying that a different corporation than herself is running. And then you look at the flyers and information, uh Shish Trish events, her vacation, her YouTube Streets Awards, and that jazzercise thing that she did are the only clients that this alleged company has. And so this alleged company is handling the events that they have on their schedule is only Trish's events. They have no other events on their schedule. So, okay, back to Simon. So, Simon is alleged to have doctored up his paperwork, and additionally, he had been deported in 1984 or 85, and allegedly he came back to the United States under a false identity. So, did you guys know all of that? Did you guys know all of that? Let me see. I want to hear what Fallon is willing to share at this point. Hopefully, Tisa Tales can get her back on the show for an update. I didn't see her on Tisa Tales. Yeah, it's a mess with Simon. But Portia, she has already signed her contract. It is already laid out. And thankfully and hopefully they will keep her so she can continue to have some income. Ronnie Q, I've researched all of Trisha's. I researched all of Trish shut down to her real. Okay. Listen. Okay. If you go on that site to act as if you're going to buy tickets. First of all, she has a link for you to hit. The link, you cannot hit the link. So to go to the link, it's not an operable link. So you type in the name of the company and it comes up on Google and this big office building and this, that, and the other. But if you just even reading the mission statement of this alleged company who is handling the travel for this vacation and this YouTube Street Awards, you understand that no educated person or no business person wrote any of these things. And then you travel, there is not one person of one, no, there's not one picture of one human being on that total site. Even in the About Us column, no, nothing, no human beings. Okay, in addition to that, like I say, the only customer that they have is Shish Trish. Now, Shish Trish is charging people 40% of their deposit if they cancel by one day, and charging 50% of their deposit if they cancel by a later date. So now, allegedly, it's not Shish Trish who's charging you this. It's for cancellation and something else that she says that she's going to keep 40 to 50% of your money even if you cancel. But she's trying to put it under their umbrella for travel expenses or whatever. I forget what it's called. So she's going to, if you don't, if you make a deposit and then don't go, she's still going to keep 40 to 50% of your money. And there's no clickable links. You have to physically type it in, and she she is the only customer that this large corporation who has a office in one of Trump business offices, and it has all the pictures of different areas and uh elevator shafts and all this type of stuff. Not one human being, not one about us. And I was told that this building is that type of building where a lot of people use different office boxes to get an address for sham businesses. Not well, whatever you call these type of businesses. It's nothing more than a glorified PO box. So you guys need to go on. And Eventbrite is selling, and you notice, who has noticed how quiet Shish Trish has been about these events now? And somebody asked her something about how many tickets she sold. I sold two for the crackcation event, and I sold, I forget how many she lied and said she sold for this YouTube Street Awards. But the YouTube Street Awards, she pushed this as something that would raise $4.5 million. But when you go on this website, this company has an event, and they're advertising the event, the YouTube Street Awards, as a fundraiser for some type of medical business, and they're asking you to bring your checkbook, not your debit, your checkbook. Fonnie Willis was on the witness stand, and that lady asked her, did she have any checks that she had written to pay dude back? And she looked at her like she a fool. I don't have no checkbook. So Trish and her big business conglomerate in the Trump Tower is telling the people who come to the YouTube Street Awards to bring your checkbooks because they're trying to raise, guess what? $4.2 million for this. I forget what type of medical organization it is. So how are you telling people to bring their checkbooks to raise $4.2 million when you sold this thing to people in the beef sector as you being able to get sponsors to support this event at the tune of $4.5 million? Please, just go look through it yourself. You're not doxing. This is stuff that she puts up. She has put up to invite you to spend, and what, at least the tickets to those YouTube Streets Awards, I believe, are $400. A whole sham artist. A whole sham artist. Okay, I've been talking too long. I haven't been seeing what you guys are saying, so she could steal their bank information. Didn't she disinvite the? I didn't know that. I know she has not. How many ways can you say BS? I'm telling you, all you have to do, Team Fonnie, yes, all you have to do is go over there, and she put this out herself for you guys to go and click. Hey, ain't none of your business. The visuals alone got me sick. Yes, it is a mess. She has no real connection with that medical company. Of course not. Of course not. Okay. So that, and she's how her 501c3. Okay, child. Trish is Trish related to Simon? Pick the right sector to scam these folks, not reading disclaimers. Oh, and also she has this, I think it's a seven-page NDA where you can click on this whole 7-page NDA. And what's interesting about this NDA is that she is trying to claim that she has the right to any picture that you take on your own. It belongs to her, and if she asks you for it, it belongs to her. And the only stipulation of getting around this NDA is if you sue her for any portion of the NDA. Say like you sue her for rule number 7, section B. Well, rule number 7, section B will be the only thing. If you win, that would be the only thing she's releasing you from. You still will be under the NDA for rule number 1 through 6D, and 1 through 6 seven CDEF. You know that only that one little paragraph. If you were able to win, the NDA will still be in full effect according to her harebrained thinking. It is. I told them. I tried to tell them this was a bunch of BS. So that's what Trish is doing out here. So when you guys see Trish in the YouTube streets, please ask her. No comment. Please ask her, hey, how's the YouTube Streets Award going? Hey, tell us more about the YouTube Streets Awards. Because when somebody asks her how many tickets she sold, I sold two to the vacation, the crackcation, and I sold X amount to the YouTube Streets Awards. And then the next thing you knew, she had dropped down off the panel. She was on my hair for 45 minutes to an hour at a time, greasing up lies about how much money they was gonna raise. And I know the mayor at first. Diddy's gonna be there, and yes, I'm getting Diddy to be there. And then Diddy ran into some legal problems, and then I'm gonna get Mayor Adams to be there. And then the very same week, Mayor Adams ran into similar problems, and additionally, he ran into some alleged money problems that they were investigating about him getting money from the Turkish government. So then when I brought that up to her, then she shut her fucking mouth and started cursing me out as if I did something to her. I didn't do anything to her. I just had knowledge of these things going on and find it hard to believe that Mayor Adams would have time to attend the YouTube Street Awards when he has such pressing matters on his hands, including several women who came out and made similar allegations as women who came out against Puffy. Okay, so there's that. So Trish is not pleased with Ronnie Q. Ronnie Q is a dummy. Ronnie Q doesn't know anything. But Ronnie Q know that. Ronnie Q, I do know that. Fanny was getting in Merchant's ass. The only thing I don't like is the two guy lawyers that really seem incompetent. Let me tell you something. You could have knocked me over with a feather when I found out that heavy set, grumpy looking lawyer had to leave the firm because he had made SA. I don't know if they were just advances or if he actually SA'd these people. And then when they asked him, well, when you left the firm, this was one of the partners of the firm who worked with, what's his name, Willis, who is bringing forth the charges against 45. They said, well, when you left the firm, you had an escrow account of $14,000. Why didn't you take the firm? And then he sat up there and he was like, well, I just left it there. And I was like, what? Leave 14 grand on the table? And then they go, well, isn't it true that that 14 grand was used to pay off one of your, I don't know if they said accusers. I think they said victims. I don't think they said accusers. So he acted as if he didn't know anything while he left $14,000 behind at that firm. It was to pay off the woman he was accused of SAing. And somebody, for some reason, somebody said they don't like the way Willis turned, I think his name is Willis, turned on his partner. But I didn't see him turn on his partner. What I saw was this dude was in contact with the defense lawyers for this case. And it seems as if he, the divorce lawyer, was the one who gave information and fed information to them because that blonde lady had no problem with, on such and such date, didn't you text me and say X, Y, and Z? And I was like, oh man, it seemed like the divorce lawyer ratted him out, but I thought it was the wife's divorce lawyer who ratted him out. Wade, yes, thank you. I didn't know Wade's divorce lawyer ratted him out. And on top of it, Wade and him were law partners. They were partners in a firm. You could have knocked me over with a feather. Yes. If you guys didn't watch that portion of the testimony stuff, but see, exactly. he and Wade's wife were working with Trump's people. Exactly. So let me tell you this. First of all, none of this should have even been seen before this judge. They had no evidence to produce to uphold their claims that Fonnie Willis benefited financially from hiring somebody who was going to be making less than he could in private practice. So why this judge have them on here and instead didn't just make this ruling out of what evidence that they brought up for this? It's just a bunch of BS to me. Who gets to be seen by a grand jury and then uh, get charges and then are allowed to put the DA on the stand questioning if they are financially benefiting from their prosecution. So it's a lot. Yeah. So when are they supposed to have this ruling in? It's stupid and simply a distraction and a stall tactic and a way to poison the jury pool. Did Wade's wife really have an affair? Well, I don't know, but I know that that is what is alleged, that their marriage was what is ir, irreconcilable. Their marriage was fucked up after 2015 after she allegedly had an affair. So, yeah, there's that. Trying to distract from what they're really there for. Yeah, and and it's a perfect distraction because you have people who are out here who you can say the slightest little thing and you don't have to have any evidence, and you just have to argue it enough, talk it enough, and it will put doubt in their mind. So and that's all he needs is a benefit of doubt. It's not about, is it about the preponderance of evidence? I don't think it's about the preponderance of evidence for this. No, it is about the preponderance of evidence. In something like a Erder trial, it's about reasonable doubt. If a juror has reasonable doubt, but in this case, it's a RICO case, and they have to the jury has to decide on the preponderance of evidence. So there's that. It took me a minute. I'm not law school. I'm not in law school like the celebrity pig. So, I had to get my terms together. Oh, and I also made a mistake in my last live. I said that, we have them sitting on trial when this man has been found guilty in a court of law, and I said 800 and something $1 million that he had to pay E. Jean Carroll. I was wrong. He has to pay her $83 million, plus the $5 million that he already was ordered to pay her. Now, also, the he has been disallowed to get any bank loans in the city of New York for 2 years, and he is not allowed to do business in New York City for 3 years. I think that that was a very, very light sentence that the judge gave him in his New York City case, and he is ordered to pay over 250 something $1 million for losing that case in the District of New York. So, yeah, everything's going down, but they still think that he is going to be a great leader who he just praised another dictator of Ecuador, I believe it was. Okay, he has said nothing about, hey, Purple Peach, how you doing? He has said nothing about the death of that Vladimir Putin opponent who lost his life after he said he was going to run as an opposition candidate to Vladimir Putin. He had some type of acid dash in his face. He survived, and then he was attacked by some nerve agent. And they definitely thought he wasn't going to make it then. He survived, and then that's when he said he was going to throw his hat in the ring against Vladimir Putin. And then it was at that moment that he was brought up as some trumped up charges. The last they saw him was on Valentine's Day. His mother saw him in a visit via short circuit TV, and then not short circuit, whatever, through the TV cameras, and then he allegedly went for a walk and he came back dead. And then Maventley, I believe his name is. So his wife wants Putin and the Kremlin. She wants them to. She really wants them. She is suspicious that they had something to do with it, and she wants them to be taken care of and tried for his untimely death. Now, they his mother was also there the next day. She wanted to retrieve his body, and right now it's being stated that they will not be releasing the body at the least right now is 2 weeks. A lot of people think that poison stays in the body forever. You may have watched CSI shows like Me, and they exhume bodies years later, and they are able to tell by the fingernails and different body parts that has a lot of calcium in it or creatine in it that the person has been poisoned. But there are also poisons that dissipate out of the body without a trace. So I don't know why his body is being held for 2 weeks, but at this point it's being held for 2 weeks. And 45 is his biggest fan. 45 has not, he's acknowledged this death, but he has not condemned this death. Kind of like the news reporter who was taking into a business meeting with people from Saudi Arabia, and they found him in all different types of being unalived by being chopped up into tiny little pieces. And when Trump did not verify this, he did not ask for any type of retribution for Khashoggi. Is this news reporter? He did not ask for any type of retribution, any type of justice for his untimely demise. But when Trump left White House, mysteriously Jared Kushner was granted $3 billion. Okay, so there's that. So he has 45 has praised another dictator from Ecuador. He has always praised Vladimir. And also, if you were not here on my last live, I need all of you guys to please, please, please. There was a lady who works closely with the Florida voting I don't know if it's I don't know what organization, but she does a lot of information about voting and this, that, and the other. And even she didn't know. And I want all of you to check for yourselves or for yourselves. She said that in on the 31st of December, all mail-in ballots were canceled. If you have a mail-in ballot, that you need to go and renew your mail-in ballots for this election. And a lot of you guys were like, maybe like, well, I don't need to renew my mail in ballot because I go in to vote. But let's understand the reason why so many mail in ballots went in during 2020 was because of the coronavirus. So, uh, now the CDC has just approved it to be okay for your children to go to school if they have the virus, as long as their temperature is not above a certain degree and as long as they're not showing certain outward symptoms. So, what they're saying is, even if your child has the virus, your child is going to be able to go to school. And so we know that this virus has been mutating, and there has been many different strands that have come about. So you might want to be careful and might not want to find yourself being sick because they're letting these kids go to school and come back home to you, and then you not be able to go out to a ballot station, or they close the ballot station because they can't have too many people standing in line because there's another big outbreak of this virus. You want to be sure that if something happens to you, whatever it may or may not be, that you're able to vote in this election. So my point is that it is. I heard from this woman that in every state, she said that the mail-in ballots have uh, been not discontinued, has have expired on the 31st of December. And if you want a mail-in ballot, you are going to have to petition and get another mail-in ballot. Make sure your address is right on your identification. A lot of states are asking for ID and it has to be an exact match. So it is always good to be able to ask for a mail-in ballot because we don't know what type of situation we're going to be in November. So we may need these mail-in ballots, and it would be a shame for you to say, "Well, can you send me a mail-in ballot?" And they say, "Well, you're not on the list for a mail-in ballot, dummy. Ronnie Q told you to make sure you have a mail-in ballot, but look, you don't have a mail-in ballot, so you can't vote." So yeah, that's all. That's all I wanted to tell you guys. So let me see. But people are walking around already with no vaccine. Ugh. Uh huh. And Bill Gates is already hitting around for another virus. Yeah, that is my point. That is exactly my point. And you have somebody who says and has a lot of people in already in Congress, in the Senate, in the House of Representatives who are okay with the dictator talk. So that's all I'm saying. I'm just giving you the information. You do with it what you will. So yeah. Remember 45 was working oil and golf course deals with Putin that got put on hold. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So, hey, the Timu song stuck in my head. Thank you for being here. They'll probably inject his body with bleach, child. Child. Okay. The mother is brave and she wants her son's body. I would be scared of these folks. Yes, I would be scared of them as well. So, yeah, there's a lot going on in the world news. So, please avail yourself to trying to look and make sure that if you need a mail-in ballot, that one will be available to you because nobody expected to need mail-in well, not nobody, a lot of people who had to use mail-in ballots in 2020 weren't expecting to have to need them. And so it would be good if you would check to see if one would be available to you to sign up to have one available to yourself. So with that, that's all I got. Let me see. Thank you for being here. Let me see what you're saying. Too crazy. How exactly. Exactly. Cases cases he's been talking about population control in Africa. Uh, yes, he's talking about why you need to control the population when in Africa when Africa's land mass is bigger than China, Germany, the U.S. and one Britain combined, Europe combined. Their land mass is larger than all of these land masses combined. But he's talking about how badly Africa needs population control. Child. Okay. Good morning, Treasure Cash. Thank you for being here. Thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, you guys, stay woke. They hate when y'all say stay woke, but it's time to stay woke. All right. So thank you for having me. And I mean, thank you for having me. It's been nice having you. And if you would please push the like button on your way out. If you like the show today, you are more than welcome to send a cash app in support of the content at $Ronnie Q. And I really appreciate everybody who came out and spent a little time with me this morning. And I hope you have a great day. And I will be seeing you around the YouTube streets. God bless you and have a great day. Bye bye.